Yeah, one very exciting thing about Mr. President is he's never tired of marketing Nigeria. So he's the chief marketer for the country. And so we had several, engagements and discussions, mostly focusing on economic opportunities. How can we mobilize more investment, particularly in the area of power? We also have discussions, interesting one around mining, as well as opportunities to even support private sector, small businesses. Overall, very exciting engagement. You can see that the potentials that we have, we were not telling our stories as we should before now. By telling the story that is credible, and you're not just saying what we can do. Mr. President has the credential to demonstrate what he has done and his commitment towards making those issues even more compelling going forward. We've seen today, part of the engagement is potential investments in ports development, in mining, like I said, other solid minerals, private enterprise, and so on and so forth. So really it has been very, very good. Yeah, so the meeting with the president of Guinea, it's more like, big brother and younger brother. It was quite interesting that there's a lot the two countries can do together. Mr. President was, commended the president of Guinea for not withdrawing from ECOWAS when the pressure was much on him to be able to do that. He was thinking about the vision for ECOWAS is something you could relate with, rather than something that was put together in a hurry. And I think there's also a lot that the two countries can do together in the area of development. Some of it is to do with iron ore, and the partnership is, we're stronger together. Both presidents were very happy with the engagement.
From the Africa CEO Forum, what do you think Nigeria is taking from this?
I think Nigeria has done a lot of very transformative reforms that for Africa is not just about Africa saying we should do this, we should do that. We now have the example in Nigeria. Still the largest economy by scale, by opportunities, by population, saying that we have done it. It wasn't meant to be easy, but it was necessary. And now we're on that track towards winning and getting all the gains of those reforms. So Africa is at a point where today, particularly for this forum, the conversation is around scale, but it's also around speed, as well as credible institutions. How can we ensure that as Africans, we come together so that the world can pay attention to us? There are issues to do with how do you raise finance for development, not just focusing on instruction, but value addition. How do you ensure that you can able to stimulate growth in labor-intensive sectors? Agriculture, manufacturing, industry services, technology, so that we can lift our people out of poverty. I think the leaders in the room recognize that the time for rhetoric is over, and it's now time for execution. So it's exciting for us to have the opportunity to be able to serve at this, time for not just for our country, but for our continent.
His Excellency the President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His Excellency the President of Mozambique, His Excellency the President of Gabon, Bryce Oligui Nguema, and His Excellency the President of Guinea.
Youth, what are we willing to do? From the Sahara to the
We need to talk about pooling of capital. We need to think about taking the next step forward. And this is a moment of...
Is this the one on this road? Selene was saying, there is still quite a bit to discuss, and it's my pleasure to have
national interests that come to bear. Somebody has got to find the common ground, right?
There are a lot of actors who want to develop more energy. So we need...
And then am I running out of time? Remains far below potential. What is required is clear and transparent truth. In practice, with administrative barriers, legacy import structures, infrastructure. Financial independence begins with financial.
Tell us a bit about this bilateral.
Well, the president has had a very eventful and busy day. We started as early as 8 a.m. and we were at the plenary session. We saw the speeches that came from the IFC MD, from our own BOA. We also saw the president of Kigali, who also was on the panel. We saw a number of top finance leaders also speak to the question of scaling up investment in Africa. It's about scaling, and our president participated fully. After that, he went into a very detailed multiple sessions. First, he engaged with the IFC, the top leadership of the IFC, out of which the issues discussed hovered around energy, housing, and around transportation, infrastructure development. He also met with the ports development group called the APM. They are already in Nigeria. They have an agreement and contract to be there till 2031, but at that meeting they announced they're interested in investing another $600 million. And that was a very important meeting. Thereafter, he met with investors who are interested in our solid minerals. We call them they have been in Guinea for 10 years. They're interested in coming to invest in Nigeria. They are into integrated approach, that is infrastructure, mining, and all that goes with it. So it's been quite a busy day. We've seen him also meet with the now democratically elected president of Guinea, who won his election by 86.2%. Guinea will be facing parliamentary elections in another 2 weeks. The president had a fruitful meeting, and he's endeared to our president. He got some very good advice, and very soon he will be visiting on the invitation of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's likely to visit Nigeria. But, Guinea has a lot of potentials, metals, earth minerals, etc. So the horizon for partnership between Nigeria and Guinea has been opened. The possibilities are great, and I'm sure that we will see that develop in the days and in the years ahead.
All right, beyond this, we've seen a lot of people coming to see the president, investors and the likes. But one key issue a lot of Nigerians back home will be asking is, of what benefit would this be to an average Nigerian? That is one. And then secondly, what are you looking at in terms of the success for this particular summit?
Well, first let me say, when you have bilateral meetings, when you have MOUs signed, there is a transition period. From the MOU signed, you're going to have a binational commission from both countries. They're going to sit and work out the nitty-gritty of it. So it does take time. But there must be a starting point. The fact that these engagements are taking place, the fact that the president is putting himself through the process of sitting down, engaging with these investors, asking the critical questions. I think what's important is that Nigeria is getting the critical look. The investors are swarming all over our country, and repeatedly we heard them saying, because of the success of your reforms, we have the confidence. You have brought stability into the Nigerian economy. That's what we hear all the time. So I think we're lucky that we have a president who is hands-on. We have a president who is a reformer in chief, We're a president who combines the corporate experience and that of good governance to be able to engage. And he has that history, it's a long history. Now, how does it translate? When these investments come in eventually, and they will come in, like the APM one is ongoing. They just want to increase the investment by $600 million. The IFC is already supporting Nigeria, and they're willing to work with this administration on energy, on infrastructure, on power, asset class power portfolio. You know, these are huge areas. They will be sending a mission to Nigeria. As soon as the president approves it, the IFC is sending a mission to Nigeria. And you know what that means? They're looking at 4 critical areas that we need support. When it comes in, you have employment for our people. They will pay taxes. The factory lines will also hum. And I think that the benefits of such investment eventually percolates into the economy.